What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Joe. Today we're going to have an overview of the KE Arms KP15 lower receiver that you can get over at Brownells. Let's check it out. So welcome back, everybody. First and foremost, thank you so much. We are so close to reaching 4,000 subscribers. If you have not already subscribed, please do so. Lower right hand corner of the screen, hit that subscribe button. Let's try and get this channel to 5K this year. And also, if you want to help support the channel directly, do me a favor, hit that join button, and again, lower right hand corner of your screen. This is how you directly support the channel. Become a channel member. You get early access content like this video you're watching now if you're a channel member. So just wanted to go ahead and get that out of the way before we get into the KP15 lower receiver. Alright guys, so when you buy the KE Arms KP15, right now Brownells is blowing them out at like $64, plus you gotta probably pay a transfer fee. So under $100 you're gonna get a really sweet lower receiver. But there's some stuff that you want to look at when you're going to build this rifle. You're gonna get it in this box. You're not only gonna get the receiver, which we're gonna go over the paperwork, which is pretty much just some how-tos and what not to do with your KP15 receiver. Very basic box. What are we gonna do with this? Like Gamage does. Don't need it. Big shout out to my buddy Gamage. So yeah, like I said guys, this KP15 is kind of a take on the what would Stoner do rifle. I know the guys at In Range TV for one point were really doing a really cool collaboration with certain companies, and it's a take on what the AR-15 truly is and what you can accomplish with it. This is an all polymer one-piece receiver, so you are stuck. Thank God it's not a full A2 pistol grip, which I like. You have all your basic controls. This does come with the takedown pins already installed. You have retaining detents within the pins. And we're going to get into kind of the specs of what you want to look at when you're building this receiver out. Alright, so some of the features on the KP15 receiver. Now, there are a few things that KE Arms recommends when you're building this rifle. As it comes from the factory, you have a lifetime warranty. It is a all polymer receiver, so God forbid something happens where it's kind of out of warranty, you will get a one-time replacement for $65 unless it's something that they can, you know, fix or whatever. If you F this up really bad, you will be able to get a new receiver for $65 and they'll ship to your FFL. Now, the only thing they also recommend is if you decide to Form 1 one of these receivers and actually make it SBR through the Form 1, you pay your $200 tax stamp with the ATF and NFA. It gets a little bit more difficult for them to warranty it. So if you SBR this and for some reason you decides to just crack on you, whatever, you're running some really hot loads out of it, just know it will be very difficult for them to replace it. They can in most cases. Now, it does come with a flared mag well. Like I said before, the takedown pins have detents in them. You're gonna get this little baggie. Please do not lose this bag. This is gonna have your buffer retaining pin and detent, which you're gonna put the detent pin right through this little hole here. That's going to retain the buffer retainer. This takes a carbine length buffer and spring, so you're going to have some limitations, not all. You can work pretty, let's see what else we got here. A1 length, 13-inch length of pull, so you get an A1 style stock, nice Vietnam era stock. You do have two sling attachments. You can go through here. This also gives you the ability to get one of the M-Lock QD sling points that you can just put in right through there, or you have this ability right here if you want to get a different type of sling attachment. Now, again, you can put pretty much any AR-15 trigger in here, but just know when you go to put your safety selector in, there's going to be a little bit different because you do not take off the pistol grip to put in your safety selector. So when you get your safety selector, make sure it's the one that you want because it's going to be a pain in the ass to swap out. So if you want to have an ambi safety, I would go ahead and get that and install it right then and there. Now, a couple other things that KE Arms recommends when you're building these. Now, these are designed to take, and they have tested, 223, 556, 300 blacked outs, 6.5 Grendel, 6.8 SPC, and all that good stuff. All those, you know, common AR-15 calibers that fit in an AR-15 magazine. They're going to all pretty much eject between the 3 and 4 o'clock position, but just know you might have to change the buffer weights out depending on the caliber. You can also get a 9mm magwell conversion where you put it through the top and you have the ability to take Glock mags. And again, you have to add the proper 5.4 ounce carbine buffer at a minimum. Now, they also say if you want to run bigger calibers, say 458 SOCOM, 450 Bushmaster, 350 Legend, and then they also state 50 Beowulf and 50 BMG, they have never tested these calibers enough to guarantee function and durability over time. Use at your own risk. So I'm going to say this. If you were going to buy this gun or this receiver and you want to build a 50 Beowulf, I have never shot 50 Beowulf out of a polymer receiver. I don't know the pressures of a 50 Beowulf on a polymer receiver, but some people think, oh, this is a really cool A1, it's a cheap receiver, and it takes AR-15 uppers. Use it at your own risk. It's a polymer receiver, 50 Beowulf, 450 Bushmaster, all these bigger caliber rounds that go through an AR-15 receiver. Just use it at your own risk and know that you might have to get a replacement of $65. But I think this is a great option for a builder out there. We build a lot of guns on this channel, and when it comes down to it, sometimes you want something a little bit different. Now, the What Would Stoner Do rifles that they put out a couple years back, they were a little bit pricey in my mind. Granted, it was all carbon fiber, and it was specifically designed to be something that the AR-15 should have been when Eugene Stoner designed it. Again, A1 style stock. The only downside I see is you don't have the ability to change out your pistol grip, and if you want to change out your safety selector, it might be a little bit difficult, but it already comes from the factory with a couple different types of sling attachments. Everybody needs a sling on their rifle. It's almost a standard. You have the ability to put different triggers in. You can do different calibers, different lengths. Just be aware that sometimes when you have different parts kits, there's tolerances, and no matter what you're gonna do. I ran into it on my BRN 180 receiver on a certain parts kit I had. It happens. So just be aware that there's gonna be some limitations to a polymer receiver. I used to say never do polymer receivers, but I know my buddy Walter Keller has one of these. He's got a Bear Creek Arsenal lightweight upper, and he said and I've seen that gun. It runs great. They did a phenomenal job. We're gonna do a nice build series on this rifle down the road, because to be quite honest, guys, I'm gonna be honest with you, rifle ammunition like 223-556 is getting very expensive for my particular taste. I don't have an ammo sponsor for the channel. I am pretty much self-funded, or through you guys like you with your channel memberships or donations or whatever, and I truly appreciate that. I pretty much have been funding this channel by myself, and it's been a blessing for companies like Brownells that want to support the channel when they can. So we thank people like Brownells. That's where I got this. You can get it for like $65 right now, and I think it's a great buy. Just to buy one and store it. It's something different. You don't have to get a typical, Anderson, PSA, you name it, your Poverty Pony lower receivers, and build the same basic rifle with maybe a different style handguard here or there. The A1, it gives you that retro niche. I know Brownells has brought back their retro uppers. I know they're calling it something different now, but you can get a 20-inch Delta Ring handguard upper receiver, everything for like 600 and change maybe. So you can fit that A1 niche for very affordable prices nowadays. So guys, that is my take, and that is the first overview of the KP15 lower receiver. Down the road, we are going to do some building on this. I have a Rise Armament flat face trigger I might put in here, or I might put that Rise Armament in the next video you guys are going to see, so stay tuned for that. If you're not a channel member, you probably are. If you are a channel member, you probably already have the ability to watch that. So make sure you check out the podcast every Wednesday over on Rumble for the Shooting the Woods podcast. And please make sure you are checking out the new podcast that me and DLD After Dark have started, Two Guys, One Gun. And it's airing every Sunday at 9 p.m. We're just in the early stages of it. As filming of this video is our first initial episode, so please make sure you check that out. We're going to have our own channel for that specific podcast. But thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned, stay safe, stay shooting. Peace.